and welcome back to my bi-weekly Shop My Stash. I'm just going to get right into it and pick my palettes for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll pick the rest of my makeup. In case you are new and aren't familiar with my Shop My Stashes, I do pick my palettes a little bit differently than what some other people would. All of my palettes are numbered, and I do have everything listed in a database. Every 2 weeks I use the app Tiny Decisions, and I go through and pick 6 palettes from that app. It picks it for me, and then those are the palettes that I use for my Shop My Stash. I do not reuse a palette until I've gone through my entire collection at least once, or at least I try to. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and but for the most part, yes, that is what I do. So yeah, let's get into it, and we will pick those palettes. Okay, so let's see what palette number 1 is. Number 18. Okay, and then $72. 62, 36, 92, and the last one. What did you do? Okay, let's try this again. And the last one is $81. Okay, so the first one is palette number 18, and that is the Moira Cosmetics Dreamscapes. Then we have number 72, which is the ColourPop Semi-Precious. Then we have number 62, which is another ColourPop. It's the Baby Got Peach. Then we have palette number 36, which is the Pixi Hello LA Angel. Then we have palette 92, which is the Ccolor Cosmetics Unisex 4. And the last one is palette 81, which is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Avocado. Okay, so the first palette I'm going to pull out is the Tasty Avocado palette, and it is this one right here with the dirty packaging that has an avocado on it. Okay, then the next one I'm going to pull is this Pixi by Petra Hello LA Angel. I have it with my face palettes because it does have some face products in it, and if it was with eyeshadows, they would never get used. So this is the next one. Okay, and the last 4 palettes are out of this drawer here. So we have the Ccolor Cosmetics Unisex 4 palette, the Moira Dreamscapes palette, and the ColourPop Baby Got Peach, as well as the ColourPop Semi-Precious palette. Going back into the face palette drawer, what are we going to pick this week? I think I'm going to pick this NYX palette here. And then for contour, and I think I'm going to use this Revolution one for contour this week, I think. Yeah, we'll use this Revolution one for contour this week. Okay, so yesterday I was actually sitting kind of going through this drawer a little bit and looking at things that I know I haven't tried in a while that I always forget about when I go to do my Shop My Stash and I really want to use them. So one of those things is this chocolate heart bronzer from Revolution from their I Heart chocolate line. I can't speak, I'm getting all tongue-tied. Anyway, this is one I really wanted to use again. This is one I have to use in the winter time because it doesn't show up for me in like once I start being out in the sun at all. So I want to use this one. I also wanted to use this Vanilla Quartz highlighter from Becca. And I haven't used this in a while. This is not one of my favorites, but it's the Natasha Denona Diamond and Glow. I use the, I'll show you, it's broken, but the diamond powder is broken, but I don't mind this as a, if I go in with a light hand, it makes a really pretty highlighter. So I was going to use that, and then I also was going to pick this ColourPop one because I always forget that I have it. So that's what I wanted to do for highlighters this week. I do have the blush palette, but I think I want to pick another color blush. Let's see what's in here. We got some pinks and some orangey colors. So let's try and get something a little different. I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to use this one called Blush Copper. This is one I always think to use in the summertime more because it's so deep, but I think it'll be really pretty right now if I shear it out a bit. So we'll use that one as well. And then for this, I'm still kind of just going through and figuring out what I like for concealers and for powders and all that sort of thing together. However, I kind of want to pick a finishing powder, I think. And maybe a pressed powder and stick with that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick a finishing powder and a pressed powder and stick with them and rotate my foundations out to see what I like with those particular powders. So I think that's a plan that I will stick to and I will enjoy. I'm going to pick this Physicians Formula powder. This is the multicolored pressed powder just as my setting powder. And then for a finishing powder this week, you know what, I don't know what that was, that's gross. I'm going to use this NYX No Filter finishing powder for this week. So I think that's all I'm going to pick out of here. When it comes to eye pencils, I'm more likely to use them when I'm figuring out a look rather than having them out. And then I always end up pulling ones that I want for my look instead of the ones that I use for my Shop My Stash. So we're not going to pick any of that. This I'm still kind of working through. I think we're good. Okay, moving on to some other stuff. So now for this thing here with my lipsticks and everything that we have in it. I'm not going to pick any lipsticks or any of the stuff basically. The only thing I'm going to go into is this drawer here. It has a lot of my loose pigments and liquid shadows. And even though I didn't use the one from last week, I might pick one more for this week. So which one should I pick? Which one should I pick? I think I used that one recently. You know what? I think I forgot to use this one the last time that I had it pulled, so we're going to use this. This is from Lid Glaze, I think. No, Item, and it's their Lid Glaze in the shade Lunar Drop. So we will use this one this week as well. Okay, so this is the first palette that I pulled out. This is the Tasty Avocado palette. It's got a bunch of greens and blues in it. Then we have the Moira Dreamscapes palette. It is an all matte rainbow palette. The only reason why I still have this is because I've been kind of getting out of all the bright colors, but this is one I kept because it is all matte. So if I do want to do a bright colored look, I can easily match the shimmers to something that might be in here. So I'm not excited about this palette, but it does have a purpose in my collection and that's why it's here. So I will be challenging myself to use it even when I might not feel like doing a bright colored look. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have this ColourPop Semi-Precious palette. Is really pretty and it's all shimmer. Then I have this Ccolor Cosmetics Unisex 4 palette. It's pretty neutral, but I mean, I like it. So excited to be using this one. Carrying on with the neutral theme, we have this Pixi eyeshadow and face palette, and then the ColourPop Baby Got Peach palette. And here are some of those cheek products that I had pulled that you couldn't see what they look like from the outside. So we got the Becca blush here, we have the Revolution bronzer, the Natasha Denona. It looks pretty bright, but I use that as a highlighter, and then Vanilla Quartz from Becca, one of my favorite highlighters, especially for this time of year. And this is what I will be using for my Shop My Stash for the next couple of weeks. I do also have my Project Pan products that I'm using, and we'll be pulling from that as well. Let me know in the comments below if you do Shop My Stashes, and how's it going for you? Did you pick anything you're excited about, or do you force yourself to use things you might not like I do this time around? Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.